You want to ask me a question?
Yes.
Oh, no. Well, I'm glad you let me prepare. I know this in the church. Absolutely. All right, I'm ready for your question. So as a practice we have in the community, rather than drawing a conclusion, be frank and honest about communicating our experience and asking a question. So my experience, as well as some of the others that I've talked to, is that the majority of the communication has been in direct opposition to what we're trying to do. Okay. I experience that the reference point that you're communicating from has not given us any hope, has destroyed the intention that we started out with, and has undermined our relationship with the Department of Justice. Furthermore, it has severely set us back in the strategy to move forward. And we now have to go back to the drawing board and redesign our efforts to either go around you or communicate that what you have laid out is of no value to us and must be severely discredited. And so I have a question, because of my professional respect for you, is what was your intention in coming here, and am I off in my experience?
I think your perception is incorrect. My purpose for being here is not to give you hope. My purpose for being here is to let you know what your rights are. And in order for me to share with you my understanding of what your rights are as they relate to the concerns that you're raising, I have to understand those concerns. You have provided information in a stew pot type fashion where everything kind of overlaps. Everything is poured all into one pot. I know you're angry. I mean, that's not a question that I need to even ask myself. I know you're angry, I know you're frustrated, but I'm not here to make you feel good. I want to tell you there are some things that you have said that are actually. I'm very interested in some of the things you said about the elections, voting practices, some of the tactics that are being used that may be used to, and I don't want to say that I agree with you that folks are being disenfranchised, but it certainly seems like you're alleging that folks are being denied the opportunity to vote or to exercise their vote or to participate in the process. And to the extent that that's happening and can be investigated, my colleague and I have already talked about what we can do and who we can talk to use the resources of the Department of Justice to address that. There are some other things that you have articulated or attempted to articulate that I don't have a clue about how I, as the United States Attorney for this district, can help. And so to that extent, if there is someone else that's better able to help you, don't let me stop. But I'm here to try to determine how best my office, me and my office can help you. But so when you start talking and people refer to they and them and all that, you know, I can't take an action against a they or a them, or I need to know who you're talking about, whether or not it's an individual or whether or not it's an entity, the McIntosh County Commission. I need to find out what's been done. You know, I'm hampered in this meeting. You got one commissioner here, there are 4 others that are not here, actually the people that you're making allegations against are not here, and whether we do it now in one session or not, you make allegations against people, and I don't care what forum you go to. your allegations will not be accepted as the truth. They're going to have to stand up to questioning and scrutiny. There is a process in this country called due process. So if you make allegations that the tax commissioner is engaging in public corruption, he is going to be given an opportunity to respond to those allegations. And not only will he be given an opportunity to respond to those allegations, he's going to be given an opportunity to cross-examine anybody that you put up to provide information against him. And so if you're offended by that, I'm not sorry. That's how the process works. You know, when you make an allegation against someone, they are entitled to respond to that allegation. And they're entitled to cross-examine those who offer information against them. And the same would apply to you. If I called you a crook, this Al Bartel is a thief or whatever, they're not going to go and they shouldn't go and put you in shackles and carry you out just because they didn't talk or say that. You know, they're going to give you a chance to respond and defend yourself and to able to cross-examine me to determine if I have some type of wrongful motive or if there's some other reason other than just telling the truth that I have made mistakes and everything. So from the standpoint of what we're trying to do, I would like, my question or my request to you is, if there is a way, if you're able to, so let's take your issue by issue so we can get the information that we know or that we need to determine whether or not there's something that I can do either through my office or by contacting Tom Perez of the Civil Rights Division or by contacting Jim Cole, the Deputy Assistant Attorney General, or even contacting Eric Holder. These are the allegations of this community that made this allegation. In my opinion, it merits further investigation or it merits action. What can we do? But the structure of what you provided is not doing it. And I've been attempting to kind of get back to that structure, like with the lack of services. The fact that there are white people in the community who are getting services and there are black people who are not getting services. That's why. It helps me. I think we were getting there and then we got back off track. Are you alleging that these services are being provided as a means to make it less likely that people are able to live or continue their livelihood on this island? That may be something that we can focus on and we can investigate and talk about. But the mere allegation that these 5 white people who over here on the other side of the water have trash collection and we over here don't have it, that's not anything that I can go to my superiors and say, well, I think there's discrimination here, we ought to follow suit. So we can proceed whatever way you like to proceed. If my questions are offensive to you, I can be quiet. I can go try to catch the 12:30 ferry. But if you want me to try to help you, I'm going to need to ask some questions and clarify what's your list.
Ms. Buchanan, would you mind, as the Community Relations Service and the facilitator of this forum, directing us in our next step as a facilitator in this forum?
So one of the ways that this meeting today was organized was as a Know Your Rights forum, and that can take shape of many different forms. We have agencies here that really they have presentations. They can talk to you about your rights, and your questions as well have guided us a little bit about the type of information that you might be interested in learning. And so what's important though is that, as Mr. Tarver said, framing, and actually, Al, I believe you said that too, there are some language issues that have come up today where the community is trying to communicate what the issues are. And I believe Mr. Tarver is trying to understand them, trying to receive them in the way that communicates the language he needs to make things that are actionable. So I perceive that what's happened here is more of a communication issue and not an issue of intent. And I think that's something we should make, at least put that out there today. Mr. Tarver said it was, it's not his intent to come here to give you hope, but it is his intent to come here and listen for things. And so I think that is what the community wanted. Am I correct?
Yes.
At least that openness. So from there, I think we can move forward a little bit.
Is there a better way that you want to communicate? I would ask for a copy of your notes so that we can be clear about what you're alleging. I'm happy to receive it that way, or whatever way you want to receive it. If you want to do it verbally in the group setting, that's fine. The structure of this is...
In all fairness to your communication, we were not prepared to communicate at that level and that kind of specificity with that kind of approach. It caught us off guard. We were surprised by it. And so we are clear about what we came prepared to do. It may be useful to talk about some follow-up sessions or some follow-up relationship or follow-up communication that can adequately respect what you're saying and be able to address it with the degree of detail and integrity you deserve.
Maybe that's a misunderstanding of I had a pretty lengthy meeting with Mr. Hall and this young lady in my office. I thought this was a continuation of the meeting that we had heard previously. Generally when people come to me, I don't know about these other agencies, they expect some type of action. Like I'm very sensitive to Mr. Grover's comment that he came to my office, we didn't do anything. That's not what my boss expects to hear about the United States Attorney's Office in the Southern District of Georgia. What do you want us to do? And if you want us to do something, then I need to ask you for information in the form that I can do something with.
Yeah, we don't have the capacity to be able to deliver that to you in that form. That is one of our challenges.
If I may, that was one of the reasons why we set up a Know Your Rights forum, so that they could learn the language from these agencies to learn to frame things in order to direct it perhaps to the right direction.
I think a good way to sort of manage the expectations out of the meetings and what we can do. So we'll briefly explain. Let me just briefly explain what our office would do. Obviously, we would enforce federal civil rights laws. That's why when I was talking to Mr. Bartell during lunch, the things that we would enforce were things that would rise to the level of, in our legal terms, like a pattern or practice. And so those are, I hear you guys loudly and clearly that you do suspect these kind of rampant practices, whether it be fire department, police department, McIntosh County, tax issues in general. And those are the kind of things that couldn't be done in an afternoon or even by the end of today. It would require documentation. And then another thing, when the rubber hits the road, you guys have the issues with the sewage, trash, and I'm not mentioning everything because I know there's more. Those are things that if there's specific complaints and it involves the federal agencies here, you can bring that to them. And again, Mr. Tarver and I aren't deflecting it.